Hey, what's up guys? So in this week's episode of 5 Minute Fridays, let's go ahead and take a hands-on look at the Kustom ProLaser IV police laser gun. Now, the Kustom ProLaser IV, it's the successor to the ProLaser III, and both of those are very commonly used guns. If you encounter a PL4 like this on the road, you'll notice it because you'll see the two lenses side by side like this. One's a transmitter and one's a receiver. And then as you're driving past the officer, you'll see the black case for the gun, the white text for ProLaser. You've got a heads-up display on top, and then a handle down on the bottom. Now, from the officer's perspective, while they're targeting you, they're going to be able to see both your speed as well as the distance to the target while you're driving. And they're able to monitor in both directions, shooting either the front or the rear of your vehicle. Additionally, that same information can also be displayed on the back of the gun, showing both the speed and the distance to the target. The handle of the gun is contoured for the officer's hand. I actually like the handle here a little bit better for the PL4. It's a little bit smaller than the PL3s, plus it uses just standard AA batteries to power the gun instead of the proprietary chargers and batteries that you need for the PL3. That said, I actually kind of prefer the Viewfinder of the PL3 that I used to own. The heads-up display actually uses red text in the PL3, which is a little bit easier to see. I noticed the yellow text in the PL4, it blends in a little bit more with the road, especially in the daytime, so it is a little bit harder to see compared to the PL3. Regardless though, they can just put the crosshair on the target and go ahead and clock some cars. And actually, let's go ahead and take a look at the PL4 in action some more. Next, let's take a quick look at the interface of the gun, as well as some of the main features that it offers. Now, you'll notice there's a number of different buttons here on the back of the gun, and a lot of them actually do double duty, giving you access to some of the most commonly used features of the gun. So, for example, up here, we've got the power button, and that's also going to allow us to go in and adjust the brightness here of the rear display. So you can see I can just keep pressing it to adjust the brightness. And same thing over here with the poor weather mode button. I can press and hold it like this, and that's going to go ahead and activate poor weather mode, which officers can do when they're shooting in the rain. They don't need it, press and hold again, and turn that off. Now this button, with the short press, will also allow you to adjust the brightness of the heads-up display itself. So again, just keep pressing the button, and they can keep adjusting the brightness here. So maybe brighter in the daytime and dimmer at night. Down here, this is going to give them access to the full list of settings. We'll go into here in just a second. But the up and down buttons, this is also giving them access to some of the commonly used things. So for example, if they want to only measure distance to the target, they can do that here with range. Or if they want to measure the speed of the vehicles to issue tickets, they can make sure they have the speed feature turned on. The other button right here is going to allow them to adjust the volume. So they press this and it's just going to adjust the volume of the different beeps of the gun. Now, diving into the menu here, there's a couple settings that they may want to use. So for example, they can go in here and they can adjust the maximum and minimum distances of the gun. Same idea, if they want to only monitor certain directions of traffic, they can do that, or they can just have the default here to monitoring both directions of traffic. Now, the next option, diff test, this is just for calibrating the gun at the beginning of the shift, for example, and making sure that it's working properly. The next option, continuous for single, continuous mode if they want to continue getting new speeds of the vehicle versus just getting one speed, and that's it, and it just locks that in with the gun. The next option, you've got some options for the heads-up display. So things like if you want to adjust kind of the range, if it displays it here or not, or if it just displays the speed, you can do that. Additionally, we can also go in here and adjust the reticle style. So basically the crosshair of the gun, what you want the crosshair to look like in the viewfinder. Then the next option, events, is basically going to go in and show you kind of the previously logged events. So you'll get the date and time, the different cars that you've clocked, as well as the speed and the distance to those different targets. And you can go back in time as well and see kind of different cars that you've clocked. You also have the ability to go in and set the date and time to make sure that all the logged events are logged correctly. And then the last option is a stopwatch option, basically giving you VASCAR capabilities. You can monitor the speed of cars without actually using the laser functionality of the gun at all. And finally, if you're thinking about getting a PL4 specifically for testing your laser jammers, for most people I think you're actually better off just picking up a PL3 instead. The two guns are going to behave exactly the same when it comes to testing out your setup, but the PL3 is much less expensive. The gun used to cost more, but it's come down in price since, and so now it's going to be much more affordable than the PL4 is. And so if you're wanting to test your setup, I'd say actually save the money and just pick up a PL3 instead. And so anyway, with that said, that's just a quick look as far as the Kustom ProLaser IV. If you'd like to see more videos as far as different police laser guns or radar guns, I'll put some links in the video description, or just click the buttons on screen. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys are doing great, and I'll see you in the next video.